What's up, guys? What's going on? Frankie D, the coach here. Today, I want to talk about 5 effective ways to get you a fast and intense workout that's going to be effective at helping you to burn body fat. Listen, sometimes you just don't have a lot of time in your day and you just got to make it happen fast, and you want to make sure you get the biggest bang for your buck, and that's what we're discussing today. Before I go into that, I got a free report. It's called 7 Steps to Shredded, where you can get a whole bunch of tips and techniques on how to do exactly that. If you're interested in 7 Steps to Shredded, take your ass down below, click the first link in the description. Now let's talk 5 effective ways to get a fast and intense workout that's effective at helping you burn body fat. And just to define what is a fast workout, well, we're talking 20 minutes and less right now. So just to give it a definition, you got 20 minutes to make it happen or less. This is some of the ways that you can approach your training, all right? So let's give you the first one. The first one is interval style training. So what does that mean? Basically, you set a work and a rest ratio, and you usually base that off 1 minute of time. It's a good way to look at it. So if I have 20 minutes, each minute I'm going to do a certain amount of work. I'm going to do a certain amount of rest. So those intervals can be 30 seconds of work, 30 seconds of rest. A longer work period would be 45 or 50 seconds of work by 10 seconds of rest. Shorter work periods are 15 seconds, 12 seconds. There we got to get very intense. So the shorter the work period when it comes to interval training, the more intense and quick you got to get. So think like sprint and HIIT training is those shorter work periods, longer rest periods. And the longer the work period and the less rest, the slower you're going to move. You can't be as intense. So the more cardio aerobic it's going to feel, the more strength training based, just to give you an idea. Again, so shorter work periods, more intensity. Longer work periods, you got to take your foot off the gas a little bit to be able to survive that. But again, basically you choose 60 seconds. What's your work period? What's your rest period? And I'm going to go through that 20-minute workout or less, whatever it is. I can do 1 exercise, I can do 2, I can do a group of exercises, but I want to make sure that I'm going through either a circuit or, again, 1 for that work period or that interval period you're giving yourself for the time period that you're allowed, and you'll get a fantastic workout in that 20 minutes. The second one is circuits. So again, you're going to set the clock for how many ever minutes you got. 20 minutes, 18 minutes, 15, might be 12 minutes, and you create a little circuit for yourself. A circuit is going to be anywhere from 3 to 4 to 5 exercises. Hopefully they're non-competing and they work a whole bunch of muscle groups, right? And so that you kind of flow from one exercise into another, where I can, if I work my chest, I want to go right into a chest or a shoulder exercise. I want to do a back or a legs exercise. So again, they're non-competing, right? And a nice, good variety of different movements. Put yourself together a little bit of a circuit and try to move through that circuit as quickly as possible. So if my circuit is 3 or 4 exercises, 5 exercises, whatever it is, I'm going to set the clock and try to get through as many rounds of that circuit in the time that I have allotted for myself. All right, so you rest where you need and just kind of keep going. In CrossFit, they call that a workout of the day, right? The WOD. So you got your exercises, you just kind of keep flowing through them, and you try to complete as many cycles of that circuit as possible in the time frame that you're given. The next one is the EMOM. So that's very similar to interval training. Again, another CrossFit based concept, but every minute on the minute. So I set the clock for how long I'm going to go for, right? 20 minutes or less. Is it 12 minutes? Is it 15 minutes? Whatever it is, right? And every minute on the minute, I'm going to perform an exercise for a certain amount of reps. So say, for example, it's kettlebell swings. So now every minute on the minute for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever it is, I'm going to perform 20 kettlebell swings. So however long that takes me in that minute, I put the bell down and then I rest until the start of the next minute, and then I go again. So EMOM works great usually with 1 exercise. You can also do a combination of exercise. You can certainly do 2 exercises, again, non-competing, so they shouldn't compete with each other. So different muscle groups, right? So you're just not fatiguing one area. You could if you want, but non-competing is always a good idea. And every minute on the minute, you start a certain amount of reps. You figure out what the rep scheme is for that particular exercise, and you have the rest of the minute to rest. And as you go through that EMOM, you get more and more fatigued, you accumulate more fatigue. It gets more difficult to complete that amount of reps during that time, but that's a great format, again, for a quick, fast, and intense workout. The next one is complexes. So a complex is generally where you pick an object, whether it be a barbell, a kettlebell, dumbbells, whatever it might be, and you perform a group of exercises, again, 3, 4, 5 exercises in a row for a set amount of reps, and you don't place that object down until you finish with the entire complex. So again, 3, 4, 5 exercises. How many of you? Sometimes it's 8. Could be, if you really want to go after it, you do that, right? But you do not put the object down until you're done and finished with that entire complex. And that'll be one complex. If I have 20 minutes to complete as many of those complexes as I can, then I'm going to do that, right? With complexes are intense. They can be tough. So you want to make sure that the exercises flow one right into another. So just kind of the way the movements go. But you create a complex for yourself where I can kind of, again, get from one movement into another without taking a whole bunch of time or not being able to flow with the object that I have. It's going to be a big subject for another video, but complex. Take a barbell, flow from one exercise into another. Do not stop with that particular complex until I'm done with the exercises and the reps that I've given myself. I put it down, I take a rest, I jump back in, I try to complete as many complexes as I can in the time frame that I have. Very intense, very effective in a short period of time. And the last one is going to be quite simply sprints. So it's very easy to get a great workout when you're running hard and you're running fast. So if you set the clock for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, how many sprints can you get in that time frame where, again, you got a short amount of time, you're going to run as hard as you can. Just an idea for some of you guys out there, sprinting can be tough on the body. Any of this stuff can be tough on the body, but sprinting certainly can be. Running uphill is a nice thing you can do where it takes a lot of the pressure off your joints. Okay, just an FYI, but you sprint, you pick a distance, 50 yards, 100 yards, 200 yards, whatever it is, and you got 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes to be able to do as many sprints as you can with the rest that you need in order to be able to come back and go very hard. Just sprinting in itself, very simple, very straightforward. Could be on a treadmill, uphill on a treadmill, whatever it is. Set the clock, get as many as you can in that time frame, and trust me when I tell you, short, fast, intense workout, you're going to be happy that you started. In the middle of it, you're not going to be so happy, but at the end, you're going to be really happy that you actually finished it. So this is what it's all about, guys. There's 5 different ways that you could do a short, fast, and intense workout that's going to be effective at helping you burn body fat. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you really did, share it with a friend. Head down below, leave a comment. If you want 7 steps shredded, head down below, click this button right here or this one over here. Check you guys soon.